DearPastMe. So you basically grew up watching one movie and one movie only. And you quoted it and you basically lived by it because it is that awesome. And that movie is Mean Girls. But guess what? There is a brand new version, a modern edition of this movie. It is so amazing and it is called The Duff. So the other day I decided I would go and see it after I had seen some previews on TV and kind of looked on it a little bit on the internet, and I expected it to be pretty good because of the quality of the trailers and I loved some of the actors in it, but it was so much better than I would have ever thought, and I basically realized by the end of it that the movie captured everything that I am trying to portray on my channel. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I would totally recommend going to see it. It is so good, it's so worth your money, and especially if you're a Mean Girls fan, it is like the next version of it. It's so good. Don't even have words for it. It's just so, so good. So if you don't know what it's basically about this girl. Her name is Bianca, and she has two best friends that she goes through school with. She lives next to this super hot guy who she grew up with, where everyone in school is totally in love with him, but she just finds him annoying and really stuck up. But then he ends up basically changing her mindset with 4 little letters, and that is DUFF. So DUFF stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend. And basically he tells her that in her group of friends, she's the Duff. And this completely changes her world. She suddenly starts noticing all the times when her friends so-called use her as the Duff, and it just completely changes her mindset, and it makes her feel so much less confident, and she really doesn't know who she is. And that's basically the movie, is her trying to win a date with this awesome guy, Toby, that she is completely head over heels for. And so she asks both her kind of quirky teacher and the help of her neighbor Wes to try and unduff herself and become someone that would be so-called dateable in the school. Now, as awesome as the storyline is, that is not exactly why I fell in love with the movie, though I really did enjoy it. The reason that I fell in love with it is all of like the underlying morals and lessons that are kind of woven into the story. So that is what I'm here to talk about. So just a warning that there will be a few spoilers in this, just as I kind of talk about what I liked. So if you haven't seen the movie and you're going to, either come back to this video after you see the movie, or just know that I might give away a few parts, but at the same time it may give you a really cool understanding of the movie if you see it after you watch this video. So it's totally up to you, but let's get started. Alright, so the first reason I love it is that it is completely breaking down all of the old stereotypes. It starts right at the beginning, kind of referring to the Breakfast Club and those set stereotypes, and just how, you know, everyone thinks that it has to be a dumb jock and that smart girls can't be pretty, and just all of kind of those really old-fashioned, outdated stereotypes. And it basically just breaks them apart. So one of Bianca's best friends is the perfect example of this. First of all, she is absolutely gorgeous, model type. She is so pretty, and everyone in the school is completely in love with her purely because of her looks. But the thing is, she is so much more than that. She is the star of the soccer team, so she is super athletic, and she is also a girl that codes. That is so cool. I've always wanted to learn how to code. I've had friends try to teach me a little bit, and quite frankly, I'm lost. But I just love the idea that they are making this girl be able to do it all. And it's really pretty subtle the way they kind of weave it into the movie. It's not like they don't just like throw it at you like, look at this girl can do it all. But at the same time, you notice that the people in this movie are real. They have interests that are unrelated, and they're like normal people who can be good at multiple things and don't have to fit into this one bubble of what they're supposed to be. And it kind of contrasts with some of the other characters who are a little more stereotypical. Like Wes is a star football player, and he's not all that smart, but he's very good looking. So that's kind of like the stereotype of a jock, kind of juxtaposed with this girl who can do it all. So you got both of them, and then you basically have everything in between, and I just think that is so cool and modern, and just, I hope, makes girls and boys everywhere realize that they can do whatever they want to do, and you can like anything you want to like and be who you are. And I think that was just really cool and powerful how they put that in there. So the next part of the movie that I really liked was how they portrayed the main character, Bianca. She's kind of really awkward and a little bit dorky, but it's not taken like over the top just for comedic effect. It's real. I think some of the ways she's really awkward, especially there's a part in the mall where Wes is trying to help her become more confident talking to guys, and she goes around talking to all these different guys, and she'll walk up to them, and right as she's about to say something, nope, and we'll turn around and walk away. And I thought that was like really funny, but also I've totally gone through that where you want to talk to someone, you're like, yeah, nope, can't do that, too nervous. And I just loved how the movie was really funny, but I feel like in some movies they try to really force the humor and make the characters really unreal. And I just loved her like kind of awkwardness, and it's definitely something everyone can relate to, whether they're like that as much as she is or even more. I don't know, but I just loved how you could totally relate to her and just kind of what she's going through. And also she wore pajamas to school, and good for her. I mean, going for the comfort factor. So I just really loved her character. I think she was really cool in her own way, and she really starts to realize that she is kind of cool in her own way and throughout the movie. And again, that's awesome how she is just so cool and powerful within herself. I loved it. So for the third thing that I liked, it's basically going along with kind of what I was just saying about how Bianca really transforms throughout the movie. She starts off really okay with herself, but at the same time really awkward and kind of in her own bubble, and she doesn't ever really try to branch out. And then when Wes calls her a duff and she starts to understand what that means, her confidence just kind of falls apart. But at the same time, she like takes this opportunity to go to school and wear whatever the heck she wanted to because she could, because if she wasn't going to be noticed, then she was going to do what she felt like doing. And then she sort of realizes that that's not really working either. So then she tries to take some of Wes's tips and learns how to be confident talking to other people, especially guys. And I think that's something that everyone can learn from and relate to. Again, just the idea of not having the confidence to talk to maybe a guy that you're liking, kind of freezing up in front of someone that you really want to talk to but you're really nervous in front of. And then throughout the movie she becomes more and more confident and just owns it. She owns who she is. She's totally comfortable with who she is. She confronts the girls that's been making her life miserable her entire life. She just becomes so strong, confident, and powerful. And honestly, that's the message that I want to spread on this channel. I want every girl in the world to be able to stand up for what they believe in and be who they are and have no regrets, no shame whatsoever. So that's really why I fell in love with her and her character, and just the entire movie is honestly all around that idea right there. This movie totally stuck with me. I think some movies you kind of walk out of the theater and are just like, alright, that was cool, or and then you go out to dinner and whatever, friends ask you, it was fine, but you don't really feel anything after. And with this movie, I felt like the rest of the night and the next morning and even days later now, I just can't help but still be thinking about the different aspects and what they meant and how they all related to each other and how I could take some of the lessons that they learned and apply it to my life. And I just think that is awesome, that a movie can take you out of just watching it for entertainment and bring you into this world of development and make you a better person because of it. And it was also a comedy, so it wasn't like this super serious documentary where it didn't really necessarily grab your heartstrings at all times, but it made you think, and it made you realize that the whole point of the movie was that everyone is a duff. That even Madison, the super popular mean girl, she is not the richest girl in the world. There are prettier models in the world than her. Everyone is a duff to someone else in some aspect of their life, and that is so humbling, and also just makes you realize that everyone is on the same level in that sense. You do what you want to do because guess what? There will always be someone better than you, and you will always be better than other people that are doing other things. And I just felt so happy with who I was and so just confident. The way she went up to boys, and it was really awkward for her at first, but she became so comfortable with talking to random strangers. It makes you think that if she can go from that awkwardness and then become so confident and happy in herself, anyone can. And also, she was thoroughly embarrassed in the movie, and she didn't stay home and cry or try to change schools. No, she went there the next morning, confronted the very person who she embarrassed, and was like, listen, I'm sorry, but this is who I am, and this is how it's going to be. And I think that that's something that everyone can take. Everyone gets embarrassed at some point. And just to be able to stand up the next morning and be like, yeah, I was embarrassed, or yeah, this happened, and I really wish it didn't. But guess what? Tomorrow, someone else is going to do something embarrassing. Tomorrow, something might happen, good or bad. You just don't know. So just keep living your life to the fullest. Be you. Chase after your dreams, because there's nothing to lose. And that whole message, I'm not sure that everyone carried that out or thought about it as much as I did, but it just totally brought me back to the reason that I started this channel. And that's really why I wanted to make this video in particular, was just because this movie really got to me. And so I would totally recommend seeing it if you haven't seen it yet. It's still probably in theaters for like another week or so. It's been out for a while, but definitely go and see it. And if not, definitely go and get the rental once it comes out. Buy the movie, do everything. I promise you, if you are having a rough day, it will completely change your mood. Because first, it'll make you laugh, and then it will like really make you happy with yourself. So overall, it is such a healing movie. I loved it. Now, the movie was based off of a book. I haven't read the book yet, but I really want to. So if anyone out there has read the book, please let me know how it was. I really, really want to read it, especially after falling in love with this movie so much. So please, if anyone has read it, let me know how it is, and I will definitely be reading it this summer. Again, I really, really hope that the book is as awesome as the movie, and usually they say the book is better, so cannot wait to see what that is like. And I think that's going to be it. So past me, get ready for whenever you see the movie that it is going to be so good and you will feel amazing leaving the theater, so enjoy it. Sincerely, your future self.